Good morning, my viewer. As I promised, we shall be continuing with our series of the videos in trigonometry first, and the other topics will come in later. So this morning we shall continue with more examples, and our first example is 5 sine theta plus 6 cosec theta is equal to 17. We are supposed to solve that equation for values of theta in between 0 degrees and 360 degrees inclusive. Once we solve that equation, we shall have 5 sine theta plus 6 over sine theta. We know that cosec theta is the same as 1 over sine theta. So I hope you're not surprised with that. So once we cross multiply through by sine theta, you obtain 5 sine squared theta. That is equal to 17 sine theta. So we shall obtain a quadratic equation in terms of sine theta. That is just rearranging. If you can solve the quadratic equation in terms of sine theta, it's okay, but if it's too big, then you break it down by replacing for sine theta with x. So we shall have 5x squared minus 17x plus 6 is equal to 0. So a quadratic equation in terms of x. You can use several methods, for example, synthetic division, long division. You can also use the bulldog or completing squares to solve that equation. Whichever way is easier for you, please do use that. So once I solve my quadratic equation down there, I'll obtain minus 2 x minus 3 is equal to 0, and therefore those are my roots of that quadratic equation. So either 5x minus 2 is equal to 0 or x minus 3 is equal to 0. And when I consider 5x minus 2 is equal to 0, I'll obtain my x as being equal to 2 over 5. That's simple algebra. Try to solve it down on a piece of paper. You'll see how it comes about. And therefore, but remember that sine theta is equal to x, and if we put in for sine theta above there, you'll observe that sine theta will be equal to 2 over 5, and therefore once we make theta the subject by taking the arc sine, you get the arc sine of 2 over 5, and you obtain our value as 23.6 degrees. And we said the first value we get is what we call our principal value, that is going to help us obtain other values for theta in that particular equation. So there are other two methods of solution. You can use the diagram like I explained in the previous tutorials, or you can continue the general formula, and the one for sine says sine is equal to 180 plus negative 1 times theta. When we replace in for n is equal to 0, any number multiplied by 0 is 0, and any number to power 0 is 1. So our first angle is 23.6 degrees. Put in 1, you'll obtain 56.4 degrees. You put in 2, you obtain theta outside our range. Remember, our range was from 0 to 360 inclusive, so we have only 2 angles. So we can now reconsider x minus 3 is equal to 0. And once you make x the subject, you get x is equal to 3. And so we can still replace into our equation for sine theta being equal to x. We shall observe that therefore sine theta is equal to 3. And we said that the maximum sine we can ever get is 1. Therefore, we cannot find the arc sine of a number greater than 1, and therefore we conclude that we cannot have angles of sine theta being equal to 3. We shall now remain with only the 2 angles we found, 23.6 and 156.4 degrees. Thank you.